So it turns out there's a lot of sexism happening at the Olympics. Not kidding. Well, here's from the Charlotte Observer. It says the NBC swim commentator defends comments criticized as sexist. What happened? So that's a woman named Katinka. I love that name, Katinka. Hi, what's your name? Katinka. I don't know why. It's just adorable. Katinka. Katinka. I love that name. Katanka, my sister Katanka. Katunka is my cousin. I don't know why I'm doing this. So her name is Katinka Hazuz. I don't know how to say it. But she won the world. She broke a world record in the 400-meter individual medley this on Saturday. So as the camera panned to her, they panned over to her coach, who's also her husband. And according to Huffington Post, I didn't see this happen, but according to Huffington Post, when the camera got to her coach, who's also her husband, the commenter said, and there's the man responsible.
Wow.
So she didn't do it. There's someone else responsible for her achievement, getting a world record. There's someone else responsible. So I don't mind you say, hey, there's her coach, had a lot of help. He helped her out a lot, did a lot to help her. That's one thing. But he's not responsible. She's responsible. And so that guy's the sportscaster, NBC sportscaster, Dan Hicks. That's who said this, according to the HuffPo. Now, here's how Jezebel.com reported it. They said on Saturday night, Hungary's Katinka Hozu shattered the world record in the 400-meter individual medley. It's called the individual medley because it's completed start to finish by exactly one person. All 8 laps of it. Interestingly, Hozu was not the primary person given credit for Hozu's success. I think that's a pretty good way that Jezebel put it pretty well.
Yeah.
Actually, they did a nice job of it. There's more sexism from the announcers. Are you ready for this? So here, the gymnastic team, the women's gym. I watched this actually, because there's something about. Anyway, I don't want to get too perverted, but I can't imagine that these guys don't say, the guys who have to cover the gymnasts. There's these women and the beach volleyball too. I'm just saying they shouldn't have men announcing those sports. They should have women announcing the female gymnastics. That's just it. Because and the beach volleyball too, because the whole time the guy announcers are just trying to pretend like they're not looking at their asses, which we all know they are. It's unbelievable. It's like you're watching porno. It's like, it's porno plus, there's a volleyball. Anyway, maybe this is sexist, what I'm saying, huh?
Probably, yeah.
Probably,
yeah.
Right? So what happened was, what I'm saying is they should have women announcers for exactly this reason. So they're there, and they killed it, by the way. They won by 10. They were leading their next closest competitor, China, by 10 points going into the... So they're really crushing it. So here's a picture of them, right? So that's a nice picture of them, right? And they're all super talented. God damn, they're talented. I can't believe they do what they do. And here's, according to HuffPo, a yet unidentified commenter. So they show, I was watching this, but I don't remember hearing a commentator say this because maybe I was talking. But I remember they were all, after the thing was over, they were all in a circle talking to each other, and they're laughing, right? They're happy, they're excited, they're kicking ass, right? And a yet unidentified commentator said Team USA's members look like they might as well be standing in the middle of a mall.
What?
Yes. He said they look like they might as well be standing in the middle of a mall after they were caught on camera laughing and talking following their utter annihilation of the competition during their qualifying round. That's what an unidentified commenter said. They might as well be standing in the middle of a mall. Now, I don't know. I guess a generous reading of that would be like, he looks like, they just look like they're having a good time. They're not stressed. Look, they just look like they're just bumped into each other in the mall. But it's a little bit Weird. You wouldn't say that about 5 guys standing around. You don't say that about the 5 swimmers standing around. Oh, they look like they'd be standing in a mall. So here's the Twitter went nuts on this. So here's what Twitter had to say about it. No, NBC anchor, those female gymnasts do not look like they might as well be standing in the middle of a mall. They're at the Olympics. That was Natalie de Blasio. She's got a blue check, so you know she's important. Megan Laher, she doesn't have a blue check, maybe not as important. She said they might as well be in a mall. NBC commentator on the USA Gymnast Group Talk after literal world domination. Your sexism is showing. Nice tweet, Megan. Maddie Sweeney, also no check, so she's not as important as Natalie de Blasio. She says, NBC Olympics guy hears Team USA gymnasts talking, says they might as well be at the mall because that's the only place girls could be. And then finally at the bottom, Wicked Ginny says they could be standing in a mall. You wouldn't be talking about male gymnasts like that. That is true. So we're not done with the sexism. There's just a couple of days so far at the Olympics. This also happened. The Chicago Tribune came under fire for an article and a tweet about Corey Kajal Unreens. I don't know. I'm not pronouncing that word correct. Those names correct. I'm bad with names. Don't kill me. But here's the name. Corey Kajal Unreens. And why are they in trouble? Because here's the tweet the Tribune put out. Wife of a Bears lineman wins a bronze medal today at Rio Olympics. Wife of a Bears lineman.
Wow.
What? She's an Olympic medalist. Maybe you mention her name. Maybe she has an identity outside of her husband. She's an Olympic medalist. So let me see. The tweet focused more on the career of the NFL player husband Mitch Unrein than her own achievement. That's from HuffPo. So then here's some of the Twitter went to town on them. In the Chicago Tribune, so some people tried to defend the Tribune. They said this. It's the Chicago Tribune, localized news to your audience. That's from BoJack Horseman. So they're saying, hey, they're just localizing their news. Allison Carter, who has a blue check, so you know she's important. She said, probably could have / should have localized it with Chicago resident. Yeah, so if you want to localize it, you don't say, this Chicago Bears wife. You say local resident wins Olympic medal. And then maybe in the third sentence or the second pair, also the wife, although her husband plays for the Chicago Bears. Comes from an athletic family. That's not the headline. Her identity isn't through her husband. So that's what some people said. Her name is Corey Kajal. Shove your no subtle sexism where the sun don't shine. That's Peter Martin. And I like how he puts in parentheses PM. What is that, Ricardo?
It's the initials.
I know, but why would you do that? I get that's your initials. Maybe that's his nickname, PM. Mine's AM because I'm always up in the morning. My name's Andy Martin. And then It's All Bad at the bottom said, husband of Olympic medal winner Corey Kajal plays football for the Chicago Bears. Fixed it. See how he switched it around? Husband of Olympic medal winner plays for the Chicago. But here's the ultimate twist on this, right? Because NBC has not commented on that incident, quote, a comma, which came just days after a study by the Cambridge University Press that found that in the media's coverage of sports, men were 3 times more likely to be mentioned in a sporting context than women. Women who, meanwhile, were routinely described with regards to non-sporting issues, such as their age, their marital status, and their appearance. So it just shows you, I don't think any of those people who say any of that stuff are bad people or whatever. It just shows that there's a cultural bias, right? That this study proves there's a cultural bias that when talking about women athletes, even announcers use non-sporting. They routinely describe women with regards to non-sporting issues. That whole thing about the mall. Anyway, so there you go. I look forward to more of this happening because it will. I think that's kind of I get why women want Hillary to be president. I get that whole. I get that. I get it. I get it now. I didn't before, really. But it's just like when we started seeing body cams and cell phone cams of the way cops treated black people in America. Like, I didn't get it at all before that, right? I didn't think it was half that bad. And just like this, I didn't. That's crazy. They put that thing about Chicago's Bears wife wins a. She's from Chicago too.